case. Let's have them make it to the American people. I don't think it'll go very far.
Julie, for all the talk about limits, and as the president in his security strategy last week talked about, quote, strategic patience, when you see the collapse of Yemen, and when you see what's going on right now in Anbar province in Iraq, where ISIS forces are getting very close to a military base, al-Assad, where there are more than 300 U.S. troops based, and, you know, the danger to them from that, is there any second guessing? Is there any rethinking at the White House about the way they're conducting this war?
Well, I think what's tricky for this White House is that they use phrases like strategic patience, long-term commitments, and then you have these situations that are craving, demanding for some kind of immediate action. You talk about Yemen. Yemen is potentially very problematic for the president because he's set up what we're doing in Yemen as the model for what he wants to do with the Islamic State.
In September, he called it a success.
Exactly, and not just in the tactics, but in the idea of a long-term commitment. Well, the U.S. has been launching counterterrorism operations in Yemen since very early in Obama's presidency, and yet now we've seen a collapse in the government. So how can he argue that a long-term commitment is going to result in success when even a long-term commitment may result in a complete upheaval there? So I think that he's trying to set up a model that he really just doesn't have an example for how it will work successfully.
I guess what I'm asking, though, is do they respond there to changing reality as they see some of this not working?
Slowly. I mean, if you look at what we're doing right now with the Islamic State, it is in response to a changing reality, but it's something that took several years, actually, for the president to do. Ukraine, they're now talking about potentially sending the Ukrainian military defensive weapons. That's something that has been long pushed for in certain parts of this administration, and now finally the White House is considering it. So they do respond, but slowly.
But slowly. Thanks.